Okay, so for this 2-hour seminars, what my focus will be is the very first thing is to explain to you the format. Because your formats in your Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, right, it will be totally different when you go to 4 and 5. So since this is your Form 4 first term exam, that's why I will go through in details regarding the format first. So if there is anything you're confused on the format, then you ask me. Then after that, I will put some attentions on your karangan. But the karangan, I will take the karangan pendek, which is the karangan bahan rangsangan as the example. The reason is because karangan bahan rangsangan, you will need to require to analyze all the bahan given, okay, all the particles or all the graphics given, and then to make sure that your points are easy, it must be relevant to the particle or maybe the bahan, okay. Then after that, for the long essays, I will just go through with a quick ones regarding about the techniques on how we should analyze the question. Then it will be your paper too. So I will use a model paper to explain it to you. So maybe I will put some attentions on, go through a bit with you for the PMS, and that's to also remind you on how you should answer the questions when it comes to the subjective, especially for the KBAT. And after that, KBAT and also the Kajian case, which is case study, and also the rumusan. But for the rumusans, because this is seminar, so I will go through with you it's regarding about the technique, okay? So if it's what about the content and also how we do it in a complete one, I will do it in a class, okay now? So during these seminars right now, let us start with the format first. In your Form 4 and Form 5, okay? So this one is the format. So later we go through this one. Everything here for your reference this one, remember the list because it's very important for the karangan and also the rumusan. So let's look at this one. In your Form 4 and Form 5, which is your SPM level. So in the SPM level, your papers will split into actually 4 papers like that. Kertas 1, 2, 3, 4. But then in total, when you accumulate every paper together, you will have a total of 300 marks. So for this 300 marks, we'll split to the writing part, which is the paper 1 and paper 2. You will have the essay and also the grammar. Then after that, we'll have another part, is the speaking and the listening. So let us look at the writing part first. So for the writing part here, we will have kertas 1. Kertas 1 is the essay. So for kertas 1, you will have 2 sections, bahagian A, bahagian B. Bahagian A is the ones that I mentioned, karangan bahan rangsangan, which you will need to go through all the informations and then you will need to try to get the essay that is relevant to the information given. Then, bahagian B is a long essay. So long essays, you will have 4 questions and 4 questions you will need to choose one. These two, the main difference is actually the words limit. So you see, the short essay, right, you will need to write minimum 200 and minimum 150 until a maximum of 200. So this one is 150 to 200. And then as for the long essay, it will start off with minimum 350 until 500. That's why when you write in Form 3, I keep on mentioning and keep on emphasizing to you, you will need to write. You will need to write out until 350 by the end of Form 3 because when you go to Form 4, 350 is the minimum. You just apply the technique, then you will find out that actually the karangan is not that difficult to be serious, okay? Honestly, Then after that, over here, now look at this one. Okay, so for this one, how many paragraphs you need to write out? Basically, for the short essays, you want to write up to 4 to 5 paragraphs is accepted, which is at 2 to 3 easy. Okay, this is 2 to 3 easy. And then the long essay, it will be 5 to 6 paragraphs. This one is 3 to 4, easy. Okay, so later we'll go through the technique on how we should analyze the question. So this basically is for your paper 1. Paper 1, the short essay is 30 marks and the long essay is 70 marks. Then when we come to paper 2, paper 2 right now, kertas 2, they'll split into 3 parts. So for the first part is the system bahasa, where you will need to know about the tata bahasa because they will ask you very details regarding for the grammar questions already. So the first question of the morphology, it refers to the jenis kata. What's the meanings of this jenis kata? They will give you a passage and then they will ask you from the passage to look for like kata hubung, kata seni nama, kata adjective. Oh, when I talk about the kata hubung, and then next week the class, right, I will focus on the kata tugas. So for the kata tugas, they got 12 in total. Let's say like hubung, sendi, nama, pangkal, pemberi, nafi, all of this is inside the kata tugas. That for my Malaysia students, I know you are having exams on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, because the physical class that we have is on Monday and also Wednesday. So you manage whether you want to come on Monday or not. Then let's come back. So for the morphology here, it's about the jenis kata. So the jenis kata, you know they will ask you for jenis kata, and main thing is they will ask you to bina ayat, okay? Then after that, for the syntaxis. Syntaxis is the structure ayat. So for the structure ayats, what you will be tested in this section is that subject predicate, tunggal majmuk, and also sungsang biasa, ayat pasif, ayat aktif, jenis ayat perintah, cakap ajuk, cakap pindah. So this is all it will be tested in the syntaxis. Anything regarding of the sentences. Then penentingan, this one is where most of the students they will lose a lot of marks. But actually this one now, let me tell you how you should score on this part. Spam questions. And not just spamming the questions without understanding. After you do all the questions and then you mark it yourself, you need to go and find out the reason. Why is this the answer? Why this one cannot? Why I need to add imbuhan menkat? Why is imbuhan menait? Why this word cannot? Why is this tata bahasa? You need to go and find out the reason. And then trust me, if you practice these patterns for a period of time, you will realize that actually it's in the penyuntingan. For all the kesalahan, we are basically almost the same concept one. All the tata bahasa, just that few concepts will do. Then you will realize that it keep on repeating the same things to test you. So you just need to spam questions and also to find out the reasons why. Then only you can improve. And then penyuntingan, it's about 11th until 13th mark. Okay, 1 until 1 3. So this is also the part that a lot of the students did not even get half of it, but actually it is spam. And if you understand why, for sure, I can guarantee you can improve for sure. Then after that, the BMS. BMS, this one now, is the mark that already give it to you. You just need to put inside your pocket. Why? Although this is a translation, but yes, convert the old text to a new text. But then the old text will only extracted from where? The process traditional. Still remember the ones Katalasari that have the magic and then it will keep on breaking into other people's house. Yeah, and then to steal other people's items and capture other people's wife. And eventually it's being killed by who? The Laksamana, isn't it? So after it's being killed by the Laksamana Malacca, and to prove to the king that the Laksamana killed him, so the alleged split is being cut off, is being chopped. Okay, so that's the story for Form 4. Form 5, you will have another story. So basically, for this part, right, the BMS, they will just extract. Yes, correct. They will just extract from the story and then ask you to do the translation. So basically, if you know about the storyline of it, then you can do the translation. And then even you don't know, you can also do the translation as long as you are able to read as in to find out the watak character and to find out the kata kerja, then you can do the questions already. So this is usually about 4 to 6 marks. Okay, usually in exam it's about 6 marks. This is also the part that you can secure. Okay, the only part that you might not to secure and difficult for you to secure the marks is the peribahasa. Because peribahasa there is a lot, so you don't know which will become out. Then for this part, if you know, then it is a plus point, then you just write it. If you really don't know, then maybe you could consider to spend the time on the pemahaman part or the rumusan, because these are the sections that it can guarantee your paper and marks. Again, sebagai awal dengan terbaik. Okay, I really got students always ask me this question. Teacher, I don't want to uh make it blank. I mean, I don't want to empty my paper. So I don't want to leave a blank on it. I want to like fill up everything. But peribahasa, I really don't know. Can I just write the general ones sebagai awal dengan cermin? Can I do so? Of course you can write it, but the problem is whether your teachers give you the marks or not only one. So whether your teachers will give you a mark, I can tell you definitely in SPM you will not get the mark if it's nothing to do with the bekerja sama. Bagai awal dengan telinga. In school, it will depend on your teachers wanted to give you some pity marks or not, but usually they will not as well. Okay, unless you say maybe you have one more mark then you pass the paper, but usually the teachers will not lah. If you just don't want to make it blank, you want just hantam any peribahasa, then you like. But the SPM teachers, the SPM examiner, they will not give you the mark lah. Okay, don't think so much. Then it comes to the pemahaman. So basically, the 5 questions is the system bahasa. It's all about the tata bahasa. Then when it comes to the pemahaman will split into 2 main categories. Which 2? One is the petikan umum, the other one is the petikan sastera. Okay, what is this petikan umum and also petikan sastera about? Petikan umum is the passage where you are able to understand because it's like normal Malays that you see in your textbook or maybe the karangan. But petikan sastera is refers to what? The puisi, the sajak. So it will be something that is a bit difficult for you, but no matter how, you would be able to get the answers from the passage itself because you will have 2 questions. One is the petikan umum, the other one is the petikan sastera. But out of these 2, in these 2 questions, they will have a sub-questions of 4. The first one, it will always ask you maksud. So you just provide the synonym. Even if you really don't know the synonym, go back to the passage and read the entire paragraph to guess on the meanings and then to provide the meanings, okay? Then the second one, it will be berdasarkan bahan. So the second question in the petikan umum and also petikan sastera, for sure, you will be able to get the answers from the passage, for sure. Then after that is question 3 and question 4. Question 3 is kebat. So kebat, there is nothing to be like a definitely correct answer. You must include the answer. No, as long as your answer is logic. But of course, you will need to provide your explanations, elaborations on top of the easy. So this is how you get the marks for kebat. As long as your answer is logic, then you can get the marks already. How are you supposed to make sure that it's logic? Please use your brain. Bring your brains into the exam hall. Then after that, the last question 4 is the case study. The case study is the kajian kit. It's also kebat. So you see, petikan umum and petikan sastera, you will have 4 questions each. The first one is the maksud. The second one for sure from the passage. The third and number 4 is the kebat. So kebat, as long as your answer is logic, you could get the answer, you could get the point, and also the marks. That's why it's 3 marks for you. Karangan also you can do. How come the petikan? This one, the substitute questions you cannot do. Okay, then it comes to the novel. Novel is question 8. Novel in your SPM level is different with form 1, form 2, form 3. Because in your lower form, the novel 10 marks fully goes to the answer of something related to the novel. Maybe the nilai, maybe the pengajaran, tema persoalan. But in your upper form, your novel, you will split into 2 sub-questions. The first one, it will from the petikan, 4 marks. The other one is the novel that you learn, 6 marks. So the first one, it will be like they give you a passage and ask you the questions. It's something to do with like the petikan umum like that. And this one, for sure, you can get the answer in the passage. Teacher, why so many questions? For sure, I can get it in the questions itself. So we need to say the tests, but they provide us the answers as well. Yes, because petikan umum, petikan sastera pemahaman is what? understanding. They want to know that they want to test your understanding level. Whether they provide you with the passage, are you able to understand the passage? So this one 4 marks come to your pockets already. Then another 6 marks is a novel. So for this part later, I will put in some attentions on it by telling you what you need to include. Because if you never write these two main things, your teachers will never look at the 6 mark and the 6 mark is gone. So you must include these two. Then after the last one, bahagian C is the rumusan. So rumusan is 30 marks, the last question. In order to secure your marks for your BM, or in order to score in the BM, to score A or the A plus, you will need to have 25 out of 30 for your rumusan. As long as your focus for rumusan is correct, basically 25 marks, you could get it. Focus correct, then you will get your EC correctly. Then later, I will ask you to take notes a bit on the bahasa. Where are the bahasa marks? You will need to highlight on it, okay? You will need to take notes on it, Okay, so basically this is paper 1 and paper 2. Any questions regarding your paper 1 and paper 2? Clear with the format, If yes, then I move on to the next one, which is a quick one for your paper 3 and 4. So paper 3 and 4 is speaking and listening. Three is speaking, 4 is listening, correct? And I heard that for CHS, you will have a speaking and also listening in your final exam. I heard from my previous class, the previous seminar, they told me. But actually, there are a lot of schools that will have lah. Final, not the midterm. So basically, if your school really wants to help up, right? Majority of the final, you will have the speaking and the listening one. No worries for the speaking and the listening, especially maybe you need to worry a bit on the listening because you don't really speak in Malay. So maybe there might be some issues of you of listening mendengar mendengar dengan bahasa Melayu. So that, okay, actually for this one, right? How will teacher start taking the speaking marks? The presentations for the novel from there? Or else how they could take the speaking marks because they never give you the papers, the exam. Because I know quite a lot of the novel, the teacher asks you to do presentations one. So if the teachers take from the presentations, then it makes sense lah. I mean, at least they got something to access to it ma. Give you random questions and then ask you to study to speak up your point. Actually, I like the teacher. What's the teacher name? This teacher is very good. Oh, not bad, actually. I wanted CN, but I was thinking how for the online class, Yeah, physical, I know how to, I can. But online, I was thinking how. Let me think about it. This one, I know that for sure it's very fine with my students because you know my pattern. Okay, this is seminar. This seminar cannot do so. Online class, yes. Okay, let's just come back. All right. Now, so for the speaking test, right? There will have two sessions. One is the individual, the other one is the group. Individual dan juga kumpulan. So for the individual one, right? The individuals one you will never know the questions. By the time you go into the rooms, then after that your teachers will give you a passage. Lepas tu, cikgu kamu akan menyuruh kamu baca saja, baca dalam petikan tu. After you have read the passage, then what you need to do is they will ask you a question. It was just like petikan umum like that. They will give you a subjective question like that. So they ask you a question, you will need to answer. Of course, dalam ayat yang lengkap berdasarkan petikan atau pada pendapat saya, then you answer the question. After that, it's in a group. In a group, it's like you go into the room together with in a group about 3 to 5 people. So You go inside the room, your teachers will give you a tema. It's like a soalan for karangan, okay? Then after that, they will give you some time to discuss about a point. Okay, then you present out. How are you supposed to trigger the thing of the ECE? That's the rate of the karangan. If you are the first person, use the TYEK. If you are the second, third, or number 4, then use SHYEK. If you are the last person to conclude everything, then you use KCH, which is the techniques for your karangan. That's it. Okay, so this is your speaking test. After that, it's a listening test. Listening test is like your teachers will play an audio clip, and then you listen to it, and then you answer. For each audio clips, they will replay for 1 time. So in total, they will play it for 2 times. They will firstly give you some, if I'm not mistaken, like 1 minute, 10 seconds for you to read the question. If it's 1 minute, if I'm not mistaken, for you to read the questions, and then they will start. They will start playing for the first time. After that, they will start playing for the second time. Then next. Yeah. So for the listenings, you will need to do it whilst you are listening to it. Listening test, I did it with my physical students last year. Physical, yes. Online, let me think how should I manage it? Maybe some extra class or something, because quite difficult for me to put in the user syllabus, because I still got other branches and also the other tutor. We are using the same knockdown. I was thinking about this one. Probably extra class will be better. Because you see, people who come for the extra class, for sure, it's like they are the ones who really wanted to learn this one. So they will have a 2 ways communications with me, is it? Let me think lah. Okay, so basically this is the format of it. Then today our focus will be on the paper 1 and also paper 2. Kertas 1 dan juga kertas 2. Because a lot of school, you will have the complete set of papers like paper 1 and paper 2, but only for CHS. CHS is not a complete set of the paper. CHS, if I'm not mistaken, you will have 5 questions of the Tata Bahasa, which is what I just mentioned to you just now, this one. After that, you will have a short essay, this one. And then one more is the rumusan. Okay, this is what I heard. That's it. Novel don't have, from what my students told me, don't have novel for this round, because the teachers also haven't finished taking the novel. Yeah, that's the reason. And also because in Form 4 and Form 5, they will not ask you like the lines or maybe like the lata or something else like that. So this would be more towards the kebat question. More towards the kebat question lah. Of course, they will still ask you maybe the perwatakan, but you will still need to provide the contoh peristiwa, or maybe they will ask you throughout the entire novel. Dan yang manakah peristiwa yang paling terharu, which means that it's the most touching part, or paling gembira, or paling pahit. So it will be something like that. Then you will need to explain. That's why you will need to note about the entire story, that only you can answer the questions for novel. All right, let's come to this one. So this one, LSD Kertas 1. Okay. This is a short essay. So short essay is 150 until 200. And how many paragraphs we need to write? 4 to 5 paragraph. 4 hingga 5 perenggan. Maksudnya 2 hingga 3. 2 hingga 3 isi. Kerana kamu akan bermula dengan pendahuluan. Lepas tu pendahuluan, isi, dan akhirnya penutup. Okay? Lepas tu, langkah pertama setiap kali kamu buat karangan adalah mencari, baca soalan dulu. Lepas baca soalan, baru kamu analisis. Buat analisis soalan. Analisis soalan kita guna teknik TKKF. Lepas tu TKKF ni merujuk kepada topik, kata kunci dan juga format. Lepas tu, lepas dah siap topik, kata kunci dan format, berdasarkan topik dan kata kunci, gunakan 5 minit untuk buat rangka karangan. Lepas tu, barulah kamu bermula dengan pendahuluan isi dan juga penutup. So, this is what you need to do. Okay. Regardless of whether this is a long or the short essay, tak kira ya, you will still need to use the technique like this. So, what happens here is, the short essay, kalangan bahan sangat, which is this part, you must go and analysis setiap bahan, each given information. After that, to see is there any points that you can use. But first thing first, we will need to do the analysis for the TKKF first. Okay, the question here. Berkaitan dengan pemimpin negara, uraikan pendapat anda tentang pemimpin negara. Maksudnya, sangat jelaskan pemimpin negara ialah topik untuk soalan ini. Panjangnya huraian adalah antara 150 hingga 200 patah perkataan. Okay. Dalam soalan ini, adakah format untuk soalan ini? Terdapat format ke tak ada? Tak ada. Yes, there is no formats, right? Jika tiada format, maksudnya kita akan panggil ni karangan pendapat ataupun karangan fakta. Yang mana tu pun boleh, okay? Karangan pendapat atau karangan fakta, what does it call as karangan freestyle? That. Kita dah siap, topik kan juga dah siap format kat sini. Macam mana dengan kata kunci? Okay. If it gives you the point, then must use it. Compulsory, must use it. That let's say, they just give it 1 point only. Okay, they just give you 1 point. Then what happened is that the other point you can think of yourself if there's only 1 point given. But if they give you like 2 points already, then you must fully use all the points given. That's it. If there is no point given, but for sure there is something to do with the kata kunci. There is no point given, but they give you the kata kunci, then you could think of yourself. You must write something relevant to the kata kunci, like this question. This question, they don't really give the point, but you must get the kata kunci from the passage because the soalan, the question itself, they never tell you what is the kata kunci. So like this one, we got the formats, we got the topic. Lepas tu, tengok sini. Kan tak ada kata kunci kan? They just give you a picture, hanya gambar kat sini. Lepas tu, cikgu bersungguh jasa pemimpin negara kita. So, di sini is what? Dialog benar, Saifu. Pemimpin kita telah berjuang untuk membebaskan negara daripada penjajah. Kita patut menghargai jasa mereka. Okay. Murid ni bagi tahu cikgu, pemimpin negara ada banyak jasa. Lepas tu, cikgu cakap, ya benar. Kita patut menghargai jasa mereka. Berdasarkan dialog ini, apakah kata kunci yang telah diberikan? Menghargai jasa negara, honor them as nama jalan. Then here, if it's in this case, you may just write 4 paragraphs, then 2 points. Yes, then 2 points. Yeah, then you got it already. Yes. Okay, so look at this one up. Kita patut menghargai jasa mereka, isn't it? So, menghargai jasa mereka is what? They never tell you what is the methods to do so. But you can think of the kata kunci already, which is cara. Because the teachers say we need to appreciate them. But what is the cara? Don't know. So from here, you know that we need to appreciate this. We need to think of the cara to appreciate them. Okay, so this is one of it. That benar, Saifu, pemimpin kita telah berjuang untuk membebaskan negara daripada penjajah. After that, they say that what the pemimpin, the leaders already did, isn't it? So from here, you got the pemimpin, meaning to say they got its own responsibility. What is their responsibility last time? berjuang untuk membebaskan negara. So you could talk about the peranan. Okay, you got the peranan, you got the cara. So here's the kata kunci. But if you don't see the peranan, you just write the cara. It is accepted. Yes, it is also accepted as long as you take the information. Okay, as long as you take the information. Even to write all the cara also accepted. Here just now give a very good point. Okay. What are the easy here is that honor them as nama jalan, isn't it? Menamakan nama jalan dengan nama pemimpin kita untuk selalu menghargai jasa ataupun mengingati pengorbanan mereka also kan. So from here, menamakan jalan dengan nama tokoh-tokoh or nama pemimpin also can. So this is also part of the cara. Okay, so from here we got the topic, we got the format, nama karangan, we got the kata kunci. Topik pemimpin negara. Kata kunci we have two here. Peranan can, cara also can. You only want to write cara also can. Then after that, the isi, you may also use it. Menamakan jalan dengan nama tokoh-tokoh. No problem. Then, if you want to write like two isi, but two is cara. Teacher, I only got one not. Then the other one's how leh? The other one is like, you think of yourself. What are the other one? Okay, maybe you could say that this is the first one. Then maybe you could say something that we need to not to say take attention. We need to pay attention on menitik beratkan to focus on the Merdeka celebrations, because if we focus on the Merdeka celebrations, which means that we really appreciate the sacrifications and also the jasa, the contributions of the leaders last time. Sambutan Hari Kemerdekaan. Okay, you see, just now I told you that the first step is what? To read the questions. After the first step, to analytic account. Then the 5-minute rangka karangan. This is it. So this is the 5 minutes of rangka karangan. That's it. Then you may start off your essays already. So that's simple. Okay, so right now what I want to do is to go through the techniques against with you to let you understand how you're supposed to use up the technique and then to do the karangans out. But of course, I will just go through the techniques on the opening, isi, and also the closing. Any question? Okay, if no, then we shall start. Look at this one out. Pendahuluan is also considered quite important because for the pendahuluan, in the pendahuluan, you will need to explain about your topic. So you need to explain clearly for your topic, jelaskan topic. The topic here is what pemimpin negara, isn't it? Okay, so over here. For the pendahuluan, the TYEK. The TYEK refers to what? The TYEK. Topic, why, effect, kata kunci. Now, correct. Because put the TYEKK, then the students would thought that there will be 5 sentences instead of this 4. Yeah, that's the thing. But if you can remember as TYEKK, the KK is kata kunci, then up to you. We just don't want to confuse students with like, because one alphabet we will like represent like one sentence like that. If it's in a long essay lah. But if it's in a short essay, then we might merge it together. Yes. Okay. Then over here, the topic is the pemimpin negara. So how you supposed to think of it? Maybe you can explain about our point of view towards the pemimpin negara. So let's say our point of view towards them is like whether we respect them or whether we appreciate them. There is two ways for you to start. Whether you want to start in a positive vibe or a negative vibe. So if it's a negative vibe, then you can say that the society nowadays they don't really respect the pemimpin, tidak menghormati pemimpin negara dan juga tidak menghargai jasa dan pengorbanan pemimpin negara kita. You could also say that, or the penghargaan terhadap pemimpin negara semakin dipinggirkan, also not an issue. You can write in this way. But if you want to write up, to start off with a positive vibe, you could say that pemimpin negara telah banyak berjasa kepada negara kita. So you can start in this way. So the first one is always to tell off of your pandangan. This is jelaskan topik Pemimpin banyak berjasa. Then, why is it people will have this kind of point of view? Mengapakah berpandangan begitu? Then you can say, okay, because they're free Malaysians from the kolonial, from the penjajah kuasa asing. Membebaskan Malaysia daripada penjajah. Okay, then after that, A, the G, why is it over here? Okay, then after that, effect. What would be the effect? Okay, so because of this, yes, Malaysia is free from already. Malaysia is also merdeka, because we respect it, because we appreciate the pemimpin negara. So eventually, semangat. I need to tell you on kesan first. Kesan jika pemimpin dihargai atau diabaikan. Semangat perpaduan rakyat disemarakkan. How can it become so low? Then the last part, which is the kata kunci here. The kata kunci here is you will need to emphasize against, to explain against your topic and the kata kunci. So for this one, saling tajuk. Because the tajuk here, you will have the kata kunci and also the topic to repeat and to emphasize again. So this is a TYEK. So the topic explain pemimpin negara banyak berjasa. Why we have this kind of view? Because they free Malaysians from the penjajah asing. Effect, jika pemimpin negara dihargai, jika jasa pemimpin negara dihargai, nescaya semangat perpaduan rakyat akan disemarakan dalam masyarakat. Disemarakan, it means like a very strong sense of united like that. Then after that, the last one is to repeat your tajuk pemimpin negara and also the kata kunci peranan secara or only cara. It depends on how you want to write it. Okay, then after that, because pendahuluan is very important, so let me show you on how you should do it. And because of this is the short essay, I will not write each technique in one sentence because it's very unpractical. I cannot do it because of the words limit. So I will show you the example for this pendahuluan. Then later for the isi and penutups, I will go through to the technique, and also for the penutup, some things regarding the 7 layers of the pyramid, 7 lapisan pyramid. Okay, so let's see this one, right? The T and Y, right? I firstly need to explain banyak berjasa, and that's why I have this kind of point of view. Membebaskan Malaysia daripada penjajah asing. Dan the effect. Sekiranya anak Malaysia menghargai jasa dan pengorbanan pemimpin-pemimpin negara, nescaya, it means for sure. Semangat perpaduan dapat disemarakkan. Dan justeru, which means oleh itu. Justeru, it means oleh itu. We need to find out and also to observe and find out. Kita perlu meneliti topik kata kunci. And that, teacher, we need to end our pendahuluan in this one now. My teacher teach me a method which is a questions mark one. You may also end it with a questions mark which is persoalan. So persoalannya, apakah peranan seorang pemimpin dan cara untuk mengenang jasa pemimpin negara? So you can write in this way. And then if you write with the questions method persoalan, remember to end it with a peribahasa. Tepuk dada. Tanya selera. Because there is some aspirant examiner that will argue that they don't want you to end your pendahuluan with the questions mark. This is an essay. You are not just ask questions only. That's why to end it with a full stop, to add the peribahasa in. I don't recommend you to start your essays with pada pendapat saya. No. Unless you are writing the answers for the subjective, then yes. Yeah, do not start it with pada pendapat saya unless this is a subjective question. So you can start pemimpin berjasa banyak kepada negara. Yes. Because you said banyak, banyak is to describe something whether it's a lot So jasa is the kata nama. Banyak jasa, it means a lot of contribution. But berjasa is the kata kerja. Berjasa is the verbs. So you can say like banyak jasa, but cannot be banyak. Or you say like banyak berjasa kepada, then yes. Yeah, if you say banyak berjasa dalam, banyak berjasa kepada, then yes. But your sentence just end with berjasa, then cannot already. Because you have other is like got a lot of contribution, terdapat banyak jasa. Membebaskan negara kita daripada penjajah. Enough. No need to write in yang kita semua suka. No need, because this is a short essay. Jika pemimpin negara dihargai because it's pemimpin negara. Pemimpin is just leader. So the main thing is the negara, pemimpin negara. Jika pemimpin negara dihargai, terdapat semangat perpaduan rakyat terus disemarakkan. Because if you say untuk, right, after untuk, then this is the purpose on what is the tujuan you want to do. So you want to mention is like if we respect it, if we appreciate it, meaning to say, then the semangat ever continuous to flame like that. Yeah. So there is a bit on the tata bahasa. I really wouldn't think you like to use other. Try not to use others in your writing unless this is dialogue. So you may replace this with what terdapat, it means with, also means like other like that, or maybe mempunyai instead of just other. Because usually for others, we'll use it in a dialogue instead of a formal writing in your essay. Okay, so let's continue with the easy. Then the SHYEK here, what does this refers to? Okay, let's look at this one. SHYEK. Easy, how, why, effect, conclusive. Okay, easy, how, why, effect, conclusive. Then this one, the first things, it will be your isi utama. Right, the isi utama. After writing the isi utama, then you tell on bagaimana kan, how. Menjalankan isi. So let's say just now we talk about menitik beratkan hari kemerdekaan. So if we say menitik beratkan hari kemerdekaan, then the how here what you could say is, okay, how we show that we pay attention and we focus on the celebrations, Merdeka celebration, menyertai aktiviti sepanjang bulan Ogos tentang aktiviti kemerdekaan, aktiviti untuk sambutan hari kemerdekaan. So this is what you could do. So the easy is what? Menitik beratkan hari kemerdekaan, sambutan hari kemerdekaan. How? Menyertai aktiviti. Why? Mengapakah berbuat demikian? Why we need to do so? Okay. Why we need to do so? Then you could say untuk mengenal jasa dan pengorbanan pemimpin-pemimpin negara. Then the effect, it means the kesan. What will be the impact if we do so? Berbuat demikian. If we pay attention, focus on the celebrations. Why we would focus on the celebrations? Because we appreciate it. Meaning to say, if it causes semangat perpaduan, or maybe it can also menyemarakkan semangat patriotic, let us to love our country more. Then eventually the conclusion, to repeat again, isi utama, what does this mean? The conclusions, the conclusia, is always to repeat the isi because your entire paragraph, you must have an ayat penegas, a conclusion to conclude your entire isi. So you will need to bring back again, what is this paragraph about? To let your teachers know that you are very clear about the isi, you are not spreading out topics. So eventually the entire paragraph is talking about this isi. So you need to have the conclusions of it. Then after that is the penutup. So penutup, the KCH here, KCH, we refers to the kesimpulan, cadangan, and also harapan. Kesimpulan, cadangan, harapan. Okay. From the kesimpulan, it's like a conclusions for your entire topic, not just the paragraph. Because in the previous paragraph, you are talking about the easy, so probably is what would be the cara. So after the kesimpulan, after the kesimpulan, after the easy, what you could conclude is an ayat conclusive. This one is the ones for the topic. Cadangan is a suggestions. So you will need to have a watak, somebody, and also what would be the actions to be carried out. Why you need to give them suggestions to carry out some actions? Because you hope that there will be improvements, which is the kesan positive. So when you will have the watak, tindakan, cadangan, and also to get the kesan positive harapan. If it's in a long essay, then it will be like 2 cadangan and 2 harapans. But if it's a short essay, 1 cadangan, 1 harapan, it's more than enough. Pemimpin, then this one would be the pihak kerajaan already, not the pemimpin. Because the pemimpins, right, although they are the leader, but all these kind of cukai-cukais or the belanjawans, right, there must even the Perdana Menteri have the idea that he can also just to suggest it out, mengusulkan, to suggest it out and then to whether they will execute these policies or not, is to see whether these ideas pass in the parliament or not. So they will need to get approvals from the parliament as well. We need to say everybody to discuss about it. If everybody's agree or the majority agree, then only they can execute this policy. So you cannot say that saya berharap pemimpin dapat menentukan ataupun menetapkan cukai yang lebih rendah. Cannot. This already out of their power. They couldn't do so. They need the help, not to say they need the help, they need to discuss with the parliaments. So if the parliaments agree, the policy approve, then this dasar ini baru boleh dilaksanakan. Can I understand now? But I haven't finished here. Okay. I know after lunch you're very tired. I will give you a 5 minutes break later, but let me finish off with this first. Okay, what is this? Let me finish up with this and also a quick ones to discuss about the technique only, which is the TKKF for your long essay. Okay. All right. So yes, the watak. Whenever you need the watak, and if you couldn't think of, right, then there will be this one you may refer to. This is a 7th layer pyramid. 7 lapisan piramid. Okay, any idea? You will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 layer. Okay, so for this 7 layer, it will always start with the individual diri. K, R, S, M, K. Okay, what is this? The first one we always refers is the individual because we talk about diri. You, yourself. Then the second one is the family, keluarga. This one will refer to the family, ibu bapa. And then number 3 over here, we talk about the, what is this? Rakan, okay. But rakans always remember that rakans will not chip in because rakans will only chip in whenever there is a pengaruh negative impact, like what gejala social penting sekolah lumba haram. Then only your friends will come and influence you. Then this one is pihak sekolah. This one is media massa. The media massa is not the media social. Media social is your TikTok, IG, Xiaohongshu. This is your media social. Media massa is the TV, the radio. This is the media massa. Then we have the masyarakat. After that is a kerajaan, pihak kerajaan. Okay, so this is the watak. Whenever you need the wataks, you couldn't think of the wataks, then you may think from this 7th layer pyramids to find out from this 7th layer pyramids. Okay, so here's the technique. I still got a little bit more for the analysis of your karangan question. Then we get the 5 minutes break, okay? All right, for this part, do you have any questions you would like to clarify or you are clear with it? Clear? Then come to this one. Pendahuluan nak kan? Alright, so let's continue. Alright, still remember the first step, baca soalan, and then the second step is to find the topic, kata kuncis, and formats. Okay, and then for your karangan umums, right, which is in the bahagian B, you will have 4 questions to the next, for 4 questions for you to choose. And then for each questions, it's like this one, and then for each questions, this is this long. Soalan 1. Okay, what is this? This is maklumat tambahan. This is soalan. Not really, it depends. Okay, so where you can get the TKKF, the soalan TKKF from here. After that, what is the purpose of this maklumat tambahan? For you to check what? To see if there any isi tersurat. How do you know whether there is any isis for you to use? It must be something to do with the kata kunci over here. So you must first get the kata kunci from the questions. Let's say, after you got the kata kunci, if there is any relevant one, then only you use, or else this one is useless. So not every time it is useful. You need to get the topic and kata kunci first. Let's say, for this question, okay, they ask you to write a rencana. Rencana, it means an article. So this is the format. Rencana about what? Rencana about cegah sebelum parah. To prevent before it gets serious. So to prevent what? The particular, the berita is about what? It's about the kencing tikus. So this is one kind of the disease, isn't it? Because this is a bacteria, the pulmons, the virus. So this is the topic. And then cegah sebelum parah, to prevent before it's getting serious, is what? Cara langkah, isn't it? So this is the cara. So your kata kunci is the cara. Let us scan through. Over here, what is mentioned? Siasatan, semua mangsa disyaki. Disyaki, it means suspected. Dijakiti kencing tikus because the activity bereaksi di lubuk sungai. Okay, when is it? 4. Mangsa berada dalam keadaan stabil dan sedang menerima rawatan. Semua pesakit menunjukkan gejala penyakit seperti demam, sakit sendi, sakit otot, ceri perut muntah. Pihak JKNT masih lagi menunggu pengesahan ujian makmal. Okay, tell me. Is there anything relevant to cara? Did they tell you on what is the methods to prevent this kencing tikus? No, just info, isn't it? Meaning to say, nothing to do with your kata kunci. There is no isi tersurat given. So, depends. Sometimes there will be isi tersurat. If there is any given, you must extract it out and then to use it in your exam. But if it's not, then all 4 points you will need to think of yourself. Okay, question 2. Question 2, a quick one. Bincangkan kebaikan-kebaikan menguruskan emosi dalam kalangan remaja. Very hard latihan. For the rat, tikus, the existence of the rat, the tikus, is in the dinosaur era, you know. So never be. You will never ever to eliminate all of the tikus. It can never be. Okay, so for here, the kebaikan-kebaikan is your kata kunci. Then, menguruskan emosi dalam kalangan remaja, it will be the topic. Is there any format? No, they never ask you to write like rencana, ucapan, anything, nothing. So this is a normal essay, karangan pendapat, karangan fakta only. Okay, and then after that, the next one. Huraikan kepentingan-kepentingan teknologi dalam pendidikan. Kata kunci is a kepentingan, topik is a teknologi dalam pendidikan. Same thing karangan fakta, karangan pendapat. Jelaskan cara-cara menangani masalah jerebu di negara kita. The main thing is what? Masalah jerebu, isn't it? So, cara-cara is the kata kunci. This is the topic. Format, karangan fakta, karangan pendapat. That's it. Then only you continues with your topic and kata kunci to see if there any isi terserat given in the maklumat tambahan. After that, only you start your essay. Pendahuluan TYEK, isi SYEK, penutup KCH. That's it. Okay. So we are done with your paper 1, kertas 1. Okay. Do you have any questions? Any questions you want to clarify regarding the first paper? No, all clear? Okay, if it's all clear, I give you a 5 minutes break for you to go toilet or to get some drinks and then to make sure yourself is awake. Then we still have one more paper to go through, mainly it's on the technique, and also later I will go through some about the rumusan, BMS as well. Okay. So come back at 2:30, 2:40. Anything, ask me questions in the chat box. I will answer you one shot later. Okay. So 5 minutes break and we will come continues later with the paper 2. Let's do it. Okay, let us continue. All right, so look at this one. Tidur dah. Okay, Donna, I was also pretty sleepy, but hang on, we still got last 15 minutes only. Okay, let us continue. All right, by looking at this one. Now, morphology is like they will provide you with the journey scatter, and then you will need to look for the journey scatter. Then after that, you will need to bina ayat. So some things I want to remind you is that whenever you bina ayat, right? How many words you need to write is about 8 to 10 words, okay? Remember, it's 8 to 10 words. And then the patterns for your bina ayats is an active sentence. If it's an active sentence, then it's always started off with a watak character. Then it's your kata kerja. Then after the kata kerja, this one would be your huraian. Tindakan or the huraians like that, okay? Then after that, now always remembers and bands Maya, which is the words that you find to be to fit in the journey scatter and to use it for the sentence to construct a sentence. Remember there are 4 things you must avoid. Cannot add imbuhan, cannot change imbuhan, cannot make it to use it as a peribahasa or the kata nama khas. Let's say right now they want you to look for the kata sendi nama. And then you look for dengan. Dengan can be sendi nama, can be kata hubungan. That you cannot use the peribahasa bagai au dengan tebing in your bina ayat. Cannot, because you cannot use them as part of the peribahasa. And let's say right now you need to tengah is it? Cannot tengah in your Malay, right? Tengah is half, okay? Not to say half, tengah is like middle, okay? Then sedang, that is tentang cannot. Kata kerja it must have what? Kata kerja it must have the imbuhan. So Kian dengan Adrian sedang mencari teman wanita di pasar malam. Okay, come back to this one. All right. So kata nama khas is what? Let's say you say that I just look for the kata nama then you choose sekolah. You cannot say Kian dan Adrian pergi ke sekolah mendengar kebangsaan TTC untuk belajar. Cannot. You cannot use the sekolah and change it to become sekolah mendengar kebangsaan TTC. Cannot to make it as a name. So cannot. Okay, remember that up. Then the second question is your syntaxes. Syntaxes, this one, like I told you just now, it's a sentence structure. So ayat active, ayat passive, everything would be here. But remember, arahan is very important. You mean the ayat tunggal and ayat majmuk? The questions over here, the tunggal and majmuk. The kata nama amah. Or you mean the questions here? The ayat tunggal and also ayat majmuk, is it this one? Okay, just a quick one lah. This is something to do with the kata hubung. Kata hubung, it means done. I give you a sentence. Let me think of, okay. A quick one. So this is ayat tunggal. Kata hubung. Ayat majmuk. Okay. So in the ayat tunggal, right, what I can write is, let's say, Kian suka Fiona. Actually, I don't know who is Fiona. Fiona, Suka, Adrian. Okay, tell me. So in this sentence, I want to connect them together. I want to combine them together. Thank you, Kitten. So I will add the tapi. Kian suka Fiona, tetapi Fiona suka Adrian. This is a love story. How good is this love story to be? Okay, Kian, come back to this one. The concept. Now, you see, these two sentences, I use the kata hubung to combine become one sentences. This is tunggal, become mashmuk. Okay, so that's the questions. Over here, they have given you a passage petikan, but right now, they never underline any questions of you. They want you to yang anda pilih, meaning to say, you will need to identify which one is the ayat mashmuk, which is this one up. And then after you have successfully identified ayat mashmuk, you need to split the sentences. So it's like from one sentence, you split into two. So eventually, you will from 3 sentences here, you split into 6. 3 ayat mashmuk, and then you make it become 6 ayat tunggal. For these questions, they were just like either they give you the mashmuk, you split into tunggal, or they give you the tunggal, be like the example, you merge it to become ayat mashmuk. So Kian, understand or not? The concept, cannot? Okay, so this is it. So for this parts, right, you must read the questions carefully because sometimes it might not be the even number. It can also be 3 ayat mashmuk, and eventually the arahana, they ask you to split into 7, 7 ayat tunggal. Why? Because there might be one sentences you will have 2 kata hubung. So eventually this sentence is merged from 3 sentences. 3 ayat tunggal. Okay? So this one, you must read the arahans carefully. So here's the concept. Then after that, the next one is penyuntingan. So for the penyuntingan, we always have 4 categories, isn't it? Kesalahan ejaan, kesalahan bahasa, tak bahasa, kesalahan tata bahasa. Kesalahan tata bahasa is like what? Kesalahan tata bahasa is like di minggu depan, it is wrong, di is for tempat, so it's pada minggu depan. Kesalahan imbuhan, just like just now, jasa is kata nama, berjasa is kata kerja, so it will have a different meaning. Cantik is kata adjective, it means beautiful. Kecantikan is kata nama, it means the what beauty, so it's different. Then the last one is istilah. So the istilah, you need to change the words to fit into the sentences. The entire words, you need to change it. So this one, remember to spam the question. Okay? All right, questions 4, it's come to the old text to the new text. Okay, no matter how, this is from the story, isn't it? So if it's from the story, the very first step is to find out the watak, cari watak. Then the second step is to find out the kata kerja. Then the third step is to bina ayat. The bina ayats, in order for you to not confuse, please always stick to the same patterns, which is the active one. Watak, kata kerja, hurayat. Okay, and then if your teachers got mentions active then active, passive then passive, then remain the sentence structure, do not change it as well. Then the last part here, it will become semak soalan, which is the penyuntingan. This one is the penyuntingan because you need to make sure the tata bahasa everything is correct. So every time when you do the translations, you will see a lot of words like this. Maka, hatta, syahadan. This is all means lalu. Kemudian, setelah, selepas itu. Whether you need to translate it or not depends on your school teacher. Because if it's in SPM, whether you translate or no translate, it is accepted. But in your school, you will need to follow your teacher preference. If they ask you to transfer, a transfer back. If they ask you to translate, then yes, you will need to translate to either one. If they ask you to ignore it, then you need to remove it, okay? So it's either you remove or you translate, or it's up to you. This one, check with your school teacher. Okay, then. The very first step every time when I do the BMS is to split the sentences, then only if I go and find the watak and kata kerja, so that you will not confuse how many sentences that you split. You translate to the same amount of the number of sentences. So this is the first sentence, second sentence, third one, and the last one. Why is the first sentence so long? Because this is the entire conversation by the Temenggung here. So the first one, who is the watak? The watak is who? The watak is Temenggung. What is the Temenggung doing? Sembah. Sembah is means kata, sedang berkata. But this is the words we use whenever we are talking to the king. Then we will use sembah to show the sign of respect. How about the maka here? Usually for the paragraph, the startings, right? I will just remove it. The reason is because it extracted from the concept, the process traditional. So in your concept, before this paragraph, there is still another story. I mean, like connected with story. But since they extracted these parts from the concept, so when maka in this question, it refers to nothing. So I don't want to start off my sentence, my paragraph with kemudian. I will just remove maka. Okay. Then remember, as I told you, you will need to start off with the watak, isn't it? So the watak is Temenggung. I will use Temenggung to start it off. I will write Temenggung here. Then the next one is what? After the Temenggung, this is the watak. After the watak is the kata kerja. Okay, and then I will not change sembah to any other words. I will remain sembah, but for all the kata kerja in a sentence, it must have imbuhan. So Temenggung bersembah. This is the correct tata bahasa. Temenggung bersembah. Dalam Tuanku Shah Alam. This is the title, this is the names for the king. So just copy and paste the entire thing here. Patik menyuruh orang berkawas semalam tadi. Semalam it means yesterday. Tadi is just now. So I will just remove tadi to make the sentence move. Patik menyuruh orang berkawas semalam. Patik it means me, saya. But it's when you talk to the king, then you will use patik to address yourself. Seorang pun tak bertemu. You don't meet anybody. You ask your people to go and guard it on that area, but you don't see anyone. Tetapi seorang pun tidak bertemu. Patik hambal itu. Patik and hambal is the same thing, isn't it? So you are talking to the king. I will remain patik. Pun it means juga. Hairan is what? Hairan is the feeling. Berasa hairan. Akan penjuri itu. Okay, so this is how we do the translation. Do you see that? Watak, kata kerja, dan huraian. For each sentences, watak, kata kerja. Watak, kata kerja. So for each sentences, character comes first, then it's the kata kerja. And remember that for the kata kerja, it must have the complete imbuhan. Okay, for the BMS, so BMS, here are some points that I need you to take notes of. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let us go to the next one. Peribahasa. You know, then you do. If you don't know, then please do your BMS, penintingan. Okay. Don't bagai our dengan terming already. Okay. So this one you try it yourself out. Then after that, petikan. Okay. Now, over here. Petikan umum cerai. I should say pemahaman cerai. You have petikan umum and petikan sastrama. The first step is always to read the question. Baca soalan. You will need to baca soalan to find the kata kunci. Then only you know why you need to baca the petikan. What is the purpose you are reading the passage, what you are looking for. Okay, let's do this one. Berdasarkan bahan satu, nyatakan maksud. The first question is always to ask you to state the meaning, maksud. So, berdasarkan bahan satu, efficient dan efektif bermaksud. I don't recommend students to use Yela and Adalah. If you use Yela and Adalah, then you need to be extra careful on the tata bahasa. Yela and Adalah is what? It's always tested in your penyuntingan. This is kata pemberi. So, Yela, you can only use Yela. After Yela, it must be a kata nama for sure. After Adalah, it must be kata adjective and also kata seni nama. Confirm. So this is it. After Yela, it must be kata nama. After Adalah, it must be kata adjective or kata seni nama. Okay. All right. And then this one need to be extra careful. Take attention. Then, do you see? Second question. Berdasarkan semua bahan. It means that you can get the answers from the passage and you need to have a similarities because questions 1 and questions petikan 1, petikan 2. Semua bahan. Senaraikan cara yang boleh dilaksanakan untuk mengurangkan pencemaran alam sekitar. So this is the kata kunci. Do you see that? While you are reading for the passage, what you are reading is reading for what purpose? To get the cara. Yes, this is the easy marks. But first thing, do not read the passage first. If you read the passage, it's kind of wasting your time. You don't know what you are reading for. That's why to go to read the question, get the kata kunci, then only you start reading the passage. You know you are reading this on what purpose. Then number 3, this is kebat. Kebat, as long as your answer is logic. Then this is kajian case. How are you supposed to answer the question? Okay. Do not just to provide the isi, you need to have the isi and the huraian. The action teacher will ask you to give 4 isi, 4 huraian. Some of the teacher is only 4 isi. But to be safe, 2 isi, 2 huraian. Or you want to be more safer. 3 isi, 3 huraian. Then there might be 1 marks go to the Tata Bahasa. It depends on the teacher judgment. But just to be safe, you can write 3. How are you supposed to combine the isi and huraian? By using the kata hubung suka. And what is this suka about? Supaya untuk kerana agak. So this is suka. Okay, and then now, so you see, how are you supposed to get the marks? Let's say like your teachers want you to write 3, meaning to say each isi and each huraians you will have 0.5 marks. So 3 isi, 3 huraians in total, you will get 3 marks. Then another 1 mark, it will go to the Dr. Bahasa, but it still depends on your teachers, yeah? But no matter how, for the case scenario, kajian case, you must have isi and huraians by using the kata hubung to combine. And then this one apply the same to your kebat. Because the kebat not just to provide the isi only. You will still need to provide the huraian on it. Okay? What it would happen. After that, we come to the last two. Because question 7's petikan sastra, it is the same as petikan umum. The first one is the maksud definition. Second one's from the passage. The third one is the kebat. And then the last one is the case kajian. It's a kajian case. So that will be the same. Maksud berdasarkan semua bahan. Pada pendapat kebat. This one, you are given the kajian case. Okay. Okay. We come to the novel. So for the novel here, novel you will have the first questions, which is this format. This format is berdasarkan petikan tersebut, meaning to say for sure you can get the answers from the passage. Then the second one is this. This one is in exact, what you need to do and what you need to think of. So how are you supposed to start it? Judul novel, which means the name of the novels. This is compulsory. After the name of the novel is the author name, nama penulis. Nama penulis is also compulsory. Then only you salin soalan. Salin soalan. Okay, how? Novel yang telah atau novel yang saya pelajari yaitu novel name, author name. Then, can you direct start with sikap-sikap watak utama yang saya gemari? Cannot. You need to mention who is the watak first. Novel yang telah saya pelajari, this one. You must include that. Only you copy the soalan. Let me show you the answer on how you should do this. I'm just getting the Lieutenant Anand as an example here. Yeah. Give me a moment. It's a bit like I should not paste like this. It's lagging. Never mind. Okay, up until here, you got anything you want to clarify or not? Because right now I want to show you about the answers on how you should answers for the novel. Then later on, we'll go to the rumusan. Okay, after the rumusan, there will be a rumusan. Wait, it's not working. Not this one. This one. Okay, where do we stop right now? Question novel. Let me show you this. Okay, not this one. So basically, it's novel yang saya kaji. The novel names you see after the novel name. Okay, after the novel name, then it will be the author names. Then you will need to introduce that by telling who is the watak utama first. Then only you say about a point. Isi, and also the contoh peristiwa. Isi together with the contoh peristiwa. This is how you got a point. And this is how you got a mark. Okay, so novel 6 mark in this way. If you never write the author names and also the novel name, basically, so teachers might as well the teachers will just skip it. Then she will or he will never look at the novel. So the 6 mark is gone. So make sure you write the novel names and also the author names. Okay, then the last one, the rumusan here. Okay, rumusan, this one is very similar with the ones you did in Form 2. So they will just ask you to do the rumusan, and then it's not more than 120 words. Okay. They never give you the questions, and I mean like the keywords, kata kunci on what you need to find, whether it's cara, kepentingan, or the factor they never tell you. And they never give you the topic as well. So you will need to find your kata kunci and the topic is by your own by scanning through the passage. So, okay, rumusan is something like this. Look at this one. It's a 30 marks question. So, basically, it was started off with this one is cara, actually. Bahan dua is a cara. Okay, so you were started off with what? A pendahuluan. No, I should give you a complete version for you to look at this first. Wait. This one you can take a picture later. Okay. So basically, this is your rumusan. The technique menulis is like what? You will have the pendahuluan, you will have the focus, and then you will have the penutup. What is the purpose of the pendahuluan? By telling on what is the focus, because in the questions itself, you do know what is the kata kunci, what is the tajuk, you will need to do it yourself. Then after that, you will need to get the isi for the first focus, isi for the second focus, then the penutup. Okay, we start it one by one now. Pendahuluan. So pendahuluan, that just need to tell us on what is the focus, that's it. Then how many marks for the pendahuluans? 2 marks. But how are you supposed to know that? What would become your focus? This one. How are we supposed to identify it? Okay. For your rumusan, you will be given one passage for sure, petikan. And then bahan dua, sometimes it can be pantun, sometimes it can be the graphics. So the first step, because you will always have the petikan, you need to read the passage and also the graphic ataupun puisi, and make sure it's all the given information. Then only you find out your focus. But how? How do I know that? How many focus in this question? Because sometimes for your questions, it can be 2 focus event, it can be 3 focus. And then pendahuluan 1 paragraph, each focus 1 paragraph, penutup 1 paragraph. Usually some of the teachers will ask you to do in all the focus merged into 1 paragraph. Very seldom will have this kind of teacher, but that is possible. Okay, then how are you supposed to know that this would be the focus of your rumusan? Always come back to this statement. Kategori yang sama. You will need to have minimum 2 EC from the same category. What does it mean by the same category? So remember the what do I say? The synonym, okay? The synonyms for your synonyms for the kata kunci that I showed you at the beginnings of the class. So this is what I mentioned, the same category: cara, faktor, kepentingan, kesan negatif. This is the category. So I give an example. Let's say right now we have a question, and the question is about amalan membaca. After you have read through the passage and the graphic, you found out that the question is about amalan membaca. So from the passage and also the graphics, everything as a conclusion, they have given you the ways to nurture or to develop these habits. They give you about 6 easy. And then for the positive impact, kesan positive, they give you 3 easy. And in the conclusions, they told you if you are not reading, what will be the kesan negative? They give you 1 easy. And what is the fundamental? The fundamental is that you must have minimum of 2 EC, then only it can be qualified as 1 focus. 2 EC to be qualified as focus of your rumusan. So let's say right now, cara in the question, they have given you 6 ECs regarding the cara. It already exceeded the threshold of 2 EC, isn't it? So cara is your focus. Then 3 EC also more than 2 already. Kesan is the focus. Then I have kesan negative 1 EC. It never fulfill the criteria of minimum 2 EC to become the focus. That's why this is not. So your focus only got 2, cara dan juga kesan positive for this rumusan question. So this is how we identify. You got 2 focus or 3 focus. Okay, so this would be the second step. So the second step here, 1 easy, 1 sentence. And how are you combine the sentences with the easy? To use what? We need to use the penanda wacana. Teacher, what if I cannot remember the Penanda Wacana? Okay, that is a trick here for you to remember the Penanda Wacana. Penanda Wacanas for the rumusan up. Just need to remember, tujuh, Bapak, saya, ditandas. Mengapakah tujuh Bapak? Kerana ada tujuh penanda wacana. So what is this penanda wacana? As long as you remember. Well, what is this, man? BFDT. So the BFDT here refers to what? Okay, so the B here is bukan, itu sahaja. So the S here is selain itu. Seterusnya. Selanjutnya. D is di samping itu. T is what? T we got two. Tambahan pula. Tambahan lagi. So you got 7 penanda wacana. It's more than enough, okay? Please remember all these penanda wacanas because even in karangan you can use it up, okay? This is the penanda wacanas for the easy. Okay, then after that, teacher, how am I supposed to know that? How many easy I need to write? In total, that will be 8 easy. Why? Okay, we got 30 marks for your rumusan, isn't it? So come back to your focus again. Now, 2 marks for the pendahuluan. So, your focus here, when you add up together, right, this will be 16 marks because you will have 8 easy. 1 easy, 2 marks. Then after that, for the penutup, if you follow the formats, later I go through the penutup with you, you will have 2 marks. So in total, how many already? 2, 16, 2, 20. Then another 10 marks for the bahasa. Where does it go? Penanda wacana. Satu isi satu ayat. Dan juga ingatlah, setiap ayat tidak boleh bermula dengan kata kerja. Watak, kata kerja, so it's like watak then only isi. Always remember, this one's right. Okay, this one not necessary to become the watak. It can also be what? It can also be. Wait. Okay, this one can also be a topic as well. Not necessary to become the watak. But no matter how, it must be a kata nama. Because you can never start a sentence with a kata kerja. That's it. Okay? Then after that, this is the bahasa marks, 10 marks. Last one is the penutup here. Okay. Oh, no. One more thing. How are you supposed to merge? Yeah. 8 easy together. This one. Before I go to the penutup, how are you supposed to merge the 8 easy together? So for the 8 easy here, the combination focus 1, focus 2, it must be 8 easy, but you must also always come back to this statement. Minimum 2 easy, 1 focus. So it must always come back to this one. That's why you need to start off each one with a minimum of 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. No matter how you add the combination, it will be 8. But you must start off with a minimum 2, minimum 2. minimum two. This is compulsory. Okay, can I understand? Okay, then after that, over here, this is very important as in, if you never follow the formats, you will never get the 2 marks for your penutup. What is the format? Kesimpulan dan topik cadangan harapan. This is very similar with our penutups for the karangan, isn't it? Only one thing I need to remind you, for the cadangan here, you can never have watak. What does it mean? Look at the contoh here. Kesimpulannya, industri pelancongan perlulah dimajukan. It means cadangan, isn't it? If you say dimajukan oleh pihak kerajaan, then it is wrong. This is wrong. One thing. After supaya, you cannot have kata kerja. So if you say, supaya menjana ekonomi negara, supaya merangsangkan ekonomi negara, then this is wrong as well. Teacher, then can I add dapat? Yes, dapat is kata bantu. Supaya dapat menjanakan ekonomi negara, supaya boleh dapat merangsangkan ekonomi negara also can. So this is what you need to do. And then for the rumusan, it's about 30 marks. In order to secure and also in order to get either you want to score or whether you want to pass 25 and above is your target. As long as you got the focus correctly, then this is not an issue. Make sure the senarai synonym for the kata kunci you memorize as well. Okay, because that one's really help a lot in the rumusan. So that actually is for the format. Okay, now the answers you can get it from the TC website. So for this one now, okay, I go through quick with you because I want you to look at the bahan graphic. This is basically talking about the sektor pelancongan one. Okay, this is about the sektor pelancongan. By telling you on the pelancongan, beberapa faktor mendorong kemasukan pelancong luar ke negara kita. So this is what, basically this is about the sector pelancong. Then we have the factor here. After that, I want you to look at the graphic. This one is the cara, which is the langkah untuk memajukan. Either you say langkah or either you say cara. Teacher, how do I know this one is the cara or the langkah? Okay, because from the passage, you know that it's something to do with the pelancongan already. So right now, they gave you the symbol. What is all this symbol about? You have the Wi-Fi, and then it's like the access, toilet. This is toilet, that is symbol. The Wi-Fi, the toilet. This is the lift. This is the medical. Keselamatan negara is what? It means the safety. Okay, then after that, medical which is hospital. Then all this is what? The transport. So you see, there is Wi-Fi, telecommunication. There is the lift. There is the toilet. There is the hospital. There is even safety. It's more towards the infrastructure, which is the prasarana. So from here, what are the message you can deliver? Because as we mentioned, this would be the langkah. Langkah about what? Langkah untuk memajukan sektor pelancongan. So what they need to do, all of this is what? Prasarana, or you can say kemudahan awam. So what they need to do is that to upgrade it. So from the first one here, you could say menaik taraf. Kemudahan awam. Then the second one. Keselamatan negara is like to defend the country. This is something to do with the safety. which means we will not get involved in the war and everything. So who can give the instructions to this, which is the government, is the pihak kerajaan. Pihak kerajaan, what they need to do? They need to strengthen, memperkasa sistem pertahanan negara. Pertahanan negara, memperkasa sistem pertahanan negara. Okay, and then langkah-langkah untuk memajukan sektor pelancongan, memperkasa sistem pertahanan negara, dan you need to make it to become more specific about your point. Why is it you need to strengthen the sistem pertahanan negara? Agar keselamatan pelancong terjamin. You are not explaining your point. You are given the ideas, a specific, a precise ideas of why is it the keselamatan, the sistem pertahanan negara. It is something to do with the pelancongan, because you need to make sure the safety of the tourists. That's it. Okay. So this is how you need to derive the information. Even so, it is the rumusan and they give you the graphic like this only, nothing. You need to derive your points by looking at this graphic. It must be something relevant and related to it. Okay. All right. So right now, basically, we are done with it. And that's the answers. You may get it from the TDC website. So we have 3 minutes left with the Q&A sessions. If you got any questions, you may clarify with me in the chat box. If you got no questions, thank you so much. So we will end this seminar here. See you when I see you. Bye-bye. Bye. Welcome. See you tomorrow, Karen. Bye-bye.